Hey everybody, good morning. Today we get to take a look at 2 Chronicles 10. We talked yesterday, King Solomon we got to the end of his life, and now we're taking up our historical study in his son, uh, Rehoboam. And Rehoboam goes ahead and takes over, and we see that Jeroboam comes from Egypt, where he was, and he came back with all of Israel. We'll pick it up in verse 3. And he came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy. Now therefore lighten the burdensome service of your father and his heavy yoke, which he put on us, and we will serve you. And I don't think the people are asking something that is unreasonable. I think that they're saying, hey, listen, here is a shot at having our loyalty for life. Here, all you just take this heavy burden that is on us and lighten it a little bit, and we will be your servants for life. But when we pick it up at the end of verse 14, we see that his response to them is, My father made your yoke heavy, but I will add to it. My father chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scourges. And nobody wants to be told, hey, I know you're having a hard time, but you know what? Just because you asked for things to be done a little easier for you, no, I'm going to make them harder. See, nobody wants to be told that, so they revolted against him, and they did. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have a more difficult time in life. And even today, as we go through life, and sometimes life is not easy. Sometimes life it gets a little difficult. Nobody wants to be told that life is going to get harder. Nobody wants to be told that, hey, I'm going to come and make life as hard for you as possible. And I did a little studying here on that word yoke. That word yoke, I mean, really, it's something imposed around the neck. But if you dig a little deeper into its root meaning, it comes from the word aulal, which means to act severely, deal with severely, or make a fool of somebody. Nobody wants to be told that I'm going to make a fool of you, that I'm going to act severely with you. And even when you're already down, nobody wants to be told that. But luckily for us, as Christians, when we accept the gift of salvation and we accept the love of Christ in our lives, that he tells us something different about the yoke. He tells us, let's pick it up. He tells us in Matthew 11, verses 28, 29, and 30, he says, here's what he tells us. Come to me, all you labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest in your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You see, here Jesus is telling us that, listen, I know life is heavy. Life can get to you sometimes. But take up my life. He says, take up my work. He says, let me into your life. I will not make things harder on you. I will make them easier on you. That's a little bit different than what King Rehoboam did. See, now the people are getting what they asked for. Way back then with King Rehoboam, they asked for an easy yoke. And Jesus says, hey, I provide that easy yoke. Do you accept it? You see, when life gets difficult for us, we don't have to do it alone. When life gets just kicking us down, you don't have to go at it alone because Jesus is with you. He tells us right here, come to me. He says, come to me. Come to me. Do we come to him? I don't know where this message is going, but I know that Jesus Christ, if you have him or you don't, he says, come to me. Come to me and you can have him. And if you're a Christian now, he says, come to me. When life gets you down, come to me. Jesus is the answer. He is the answer to everything. There's not a question out there. There's not a problem out there in life that he's not the answer. Come to me, he says. And he makes a promise. He says, my yoke is easy, my burden is light. I will give you rest. Come to me. Come to him. Have a super day, guys. I love you all.